Welcome, my dear students. Welcome to a new lecture on functional analysis. In the previous lectures, we have discussed about linear functionals in general. Now, we are going to discuss about the linear operators and linear functionals on finite dimensional spaces. So, linear operators and linear functionals on finite dimensional spaces. So, in the case of finite dimensional spaces, the study of linear operators and linear functionals are quite easy compared to the infinite dimensional spaces because the linear operators in finite dimensional spaces can be characterized by a matrix. So a matrix can be associated with a linear operator which is defined from a finite dimensional spaces onto another finite dimensional spaces. And also, similarly, in the case of linear functionals, we can somewhat relate it to the a matrix. And also, in the case of dual spaces, the whole space can be characterized by the image of certain class of linear functionals on the basis vectors. So, the understanding of linear operators and linear functionals on a finite dimensional spaces are quite related to a class of matrices. So we are actually trying to associate linear operators and linear functional with regards to some sort of matrices. That's what we are going to do in this lecture. So let x comma y be finite dimensional vector spaces over the same field F. Since x and y is said to be finite dimensional, let dimension of x is equal to n and set E1, E2, etc. En be a basis of x, and assume that dimension of y is to be r and b1, b2, etc. br is a basis of y, and t from x to y be a linear operator. We are trying to characterize this linear operator with regards to these two bases. So we know that for every x element of capital X, x can be written as the linear combination of the basis elements, and that representation should be unique. So x should be equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n some theta j ej, which is a linear combination of the basis elements e1, e2, etc. en. And this representation should be unique. So it is a unique representation. Now T is linear. Now T is linear implies T of x should be equal to T of summation j is equal to 1 to n theta j ej, which by the linearity property, which can be written as summation j is equal to 1 to n theta j Tej. we are taking the constant outside and applying the operator on the vector ej. Ej's are the vectors on x and zeta j's are constants which is defined on f. By the linearity we can write as this. And since the representation is unique, this representation, if you consider this as equation number 1, this representation is unique. T of x can be represented in terms of a linear combination of the image of the basis vectors. So from this we can clearly say that since for every x this representation is unique, the image has the unique representation as well. So every element x in x can be uniquely represented as, its image can be uniquely represented as the linear combination of the image vectors of the basis elements e1, e2, etc. en. Or in general, the operator T is uniquely determined by the images if you call that images as yk is equal to t ek, where k varies from 1 to n, k varies from 1 to 3 etc. n of the n basis vectors of the n basis vectors e1, e2, etc. en of x. So the idea is that the image of every element x in x can be uniquely represented as a linear combination of the image of the basis vectors e1, e2, etc. en of capital X. So which means that the operator T is uniquely depends upon the images of the vectors e1, e2, etc. en, because the operator is defined in terms of the images of the each element in the vector space capital X. And each element in capital X, its image can be uniquely represented as the linear combination of the same set of vectors e1, e2, etc. en. So the operator itself is characterized by the image of these vectors e1, e2, etc. en. So the operator itself is characterized by the image of e1, e2, etc. en. So that's what this thing means. So every operator can be uniquely characterized by the image of e1, e2, etc. en, where e1, e2, etc. en are the basis vectors. So in order to understand the linear operator from a finite dimensional vector space onto another finite dimensional vector space, we only need to understand the image of the basis elements e1, e2, etc. en. So because these images characterize the linear operator itself, because every element in the image can be represented as the linear combination of these vectors. Or in general, the image of T spanned by Te1, Te2, Te3, etc. Ten. That's the basic idea. So the image of T or T of x is actually the span of Te1, etc. Tn, because every vector in x can be written as a linear combination of Te1, Te2, etc. Tn. That's the basic idea. So every linear operator is characterized by the n vectors Te1, Te2, etc. Ten, where e1, e2, etc. en are the basis vectors of the space x. Now if you denote y as Tx and y is an element of capital Y. And B1, B2, etc. Bn, Br are the basis vectors of capital Y. So Y can be uniquely represented as Y is equal to summation K is equal to 1 to R eta K Bk. Now, since Y is equal to Tx and Tx is written as summation j is equal to 1 to n theta j Tej, or summation j is equal to 1 to n theta j Yj, where Yj is denoted as Tej. Now, Yj is an element in Yj's are element in capital Y because it's an image of Tej. T maps from X to Y. Now, this Yj can also be written as the linear combination of B1, B2, etc. Br because B1, B2, etc. Br are the basis vectors of the space capital Y. Now, Yj can be written as summation K is equal to 1 to R some tau Kj Bk. Okay, because associated with j we are defining this. Now if we substitute on this expression the value of Yj, so Y is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n theta j Yj, which is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n, and instead of Yj we can substitute summation k is equal to 1 to r tau Kj Bk of theta j. Now these are the finite sum, so I can actually interchange the summation as well. So this can be written as summation k is equal to 1 to r summation j is equal to 1 to n tau Kj theta j Bk. Because these are finite sum, I can actually interchange the sum in the case of finite sum. Now, I have already expressed Y as a linear combination of B1, B2, etc. Bk. So, Y is equal to summation K is equal to 1 to R eta K Bk. Now, we have written Y in terms of another expression. So, now Y should be equal to summation K is equal to 1 to R summation J is equal to 1 to n tau Kj theta j of Bk. Now in terms of the basis vector, the representation, the linear combination of every vector should be unique. So Y cannot have two different expressions in terms of the linear combination of B1, B2, etc. Br because B1, B2, etc. Br are the basis vectors of capital Y and small y is an element of capital Y. So these two representations should be unique in the sense that these constants, the corresponding constants should be same. That is, eta k should be equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n tau Kj theta j. So this is the representation in terms of the basis vectors b1, b2, etc. br. So by applying the properties of linearity, we have obtained that the coordinate constants or the coordinates eta k should be equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n tau kj theta j. Here k varies from 1, 2, 3, etc. Because we have r constants associated with r basis vectors b1, b2, etc. br. Now y, as we have defined, y is actually tx. Now tx should be written as the linear combination of this. We have given with the basis vectors b1, b2, etc. br. So which means that the image of x is characterized by this constants, because the vectors b1, b2, etc. br does not change because it's the basis vectors. We are actually representing the linear operator with respect to two fixed bases. So the basis does not change. The only thing which changes here is this constant tau kj theta j. These are the constants which changes according to the value of x's changes. So the image of an arbitrary x is characterized by these coordinates vectors or this coordinate constant summation j is equal to 1 to n tau kj theta j. So we can state as the image y is equal to tx of x is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n theta j ej can be obtained from, we call this as equation number A, and it is characterized by these constants. Okay, now look into those constants. These constants are the combination of the products of two sets of constants. The first constants theta j's are obtained from writing x as the linear combination of e1, e2, etc. en. So the first set of constant theta j's are actually obtained from the linear combination of the vectors e1, e2, etc. en and their constants. Okay. And the second set of constants tau kj is actually obtained from writing the image vectors tej as the linear combination of b1, b2, etc. br. So the two sets of constants tau kj and theta j are obtained from, tau kj is obtained from writing the image tej, which is written as yj, as the linear combination of b1, b2, etc. br. And theta j is obtained from writing x as the linear combination of e1, e2, etc. en. So these two sets of constants characterize the image tx for every x element of x, or in general the linear operator itself is characterized by these two sets of constants, which is obtained by writing the linear combination, by writing TEJs as the linear combination and x as the linear combination of e1, e2, etc. en. Now, if you write the T in terms of its coordinate matrix or the coordinate matrix of T, we can write it as the column matrix. The images are characterized by the constants eta 1, eta 2, etc. eta r. So eta 1, eta 2, etc. eta r. Now eta 1 can be written as summation j is equal to 1 to n tau 1j theta j. Now eta 2 can be written as summation j is equal to 1 to n tau 2j theta j, etc. The last term eta r can be written as summation j is equal to 1 to n tau rj theta j. So this is the way of representing this. Now this can be written as the combination of two different matrices. So if you expand this, the first is actually tau 1 1 theta 1 plus tau 1 2 theta 2 plus etc. plus tau 1n theta n. Next is second row is tau 2 1 theta 1 plus tau 2 2 theta 2 plus etc. plus tau 2n theta n. Next is tau 3 1 theta 1 plus tau 3 2 theta 2 plus etc. plus tau 3n theta n, etc. Last is tau r1 theta 1 plus tau r2 theta 2 plus etc. plus tau rn theta n. Now we can write it as a product of, I think, two different matrices. So which can be again written as, so which should be equal to the matrix tau 1 1 tau 1 2 tau 1 3 etc. tau 1 n tau 2 1 tau 2 2 tau 2 3 etc. tau 2 n. Next is tau 3 1 tau 3 2 tau 3 3 etc. tau 3 n etc. etc. tau r1 tau r2 tau r3 etc. tau rn. So this is the first matrix times the second matrix is theta 1 theta 2 theta 3 etc. theta n. Okay, so this can be written as the product of two different matrices. So this is actually T with respect to the two basis vectors E and B, or the matrix of the linear operator T with respect to two basis vectors E and B, where E is the basis of X and B is the basis of Y. So the matrix of T with respect to the basis E and B can be actually written as the product of two different matrices, where the first matrix is tau 1 1 tau 1 2 etc. This is actually obtained from this coordinate matrix by writing the element Tej are as the basis elements of B1 B2 etc. Br, and theta 1 theta 2 theta n can be obtained by finding the coordinates of x with respect to E1 E2 etc. En. So this is the actually the matrix form of the operator T with respect to the two different bases. Okay, so from that itself we can clearly understand that the linear operator T can be represented in terms of the matrix eta 1, eta 2, etc. eta r, which is actually the product of two different matrices. Sorry, this is not TEB. Sorry. Okay, this is not TEB. This is matrix of T. So matrix of T is actually the product of two different matrices, or the matrix of T with respect to the two bases E and B is actually the product of two different matrices. Here, matrix of T on the left hand side is actually, if you write the left hand side, this is actually eta 1, eta 2, etc. eta r should be equal to some matrix tau 1 1, tau 1 2, etc. tau 1 n, etc. tau r1, tau r2, etc. tau rn times zeta 1, etc. zeta n. Or we write this as some matrix TEB, which we denote, times, or if you represent this matrix by TEB, we can write it as some y as TEB times some x. If you represent this y as the y tilde as the column matrix eta 1, eta 2, etc. eta r, and x tilde as the column matrix zeta 1, zeta 2, etc. zeta n. Or in general, if you write any element y with regards to its coordinates column matrix eta 1, eta 2, etc. eta r, where eta 1, eta 2, etc. eta are the constants which we use to write y as a linear combination, and zeta 1, zeta 2, etc. zeta n are the constants or coordinates with which we use x as a linear combination, then y and x are related by the relation y tilde or y should be equal to TEB times x, where TEB is the matrix obtained by writing the coordinates matrix of yj, that is TEJ, with respect to b1, b2, etc. br. So every linear operator is characterized by some sort of matrix TEB, where TEB consists of the elements tau kj, okay, where tau kj is obtained by writing yj as the linear combination of bk, k from 1 to r, tau kj bk. Okay, so for every j from 1 2 3, etc. n, where this is actually TEJ. Okay, so this coordinate system of matrix can be obtained by writing TEJ as a linear combination of y1, y2, etc. yn. Here, the matrix TEB characterizes our operator T, or our linear operator T is characterized by this matrix TEB, where TEB is the coordinate matrices corresponding to TEJ in terms of B1, B2, etc. br. So every matrix is actually characterized by, or every linear operator is characterized by some matrix, and every matrix is also characterized as some linear operator. And also please observe that this matrix TEB consists of r rows and n columns. So our basis, this r is the dimension of y, and this n is the dimension of x. So if you determine a linear operator T from x to y where x is of dimension n and y is of dimension r, which is characterized by a coordinate matrix of r by n order. Okay, r by n order. So every matrix which is of order r by n generates a linear operator from a finite dimensional space x of dimension n onto some finite dimensional space y of dimension r. So these are the relation connecting matrix and linear operator and matrix as well. So this y can be uniquely written as the matrix of T with respect to the two bases E and B times x, where x is actually the coordinate vector of small x and y is the coordinate vector of small y. So please understand that every linear operator is characterized by some matrix T with regards to the basis E and B, where E is the basis of capital X and B is the basis of capital Y, and it is of order R by N.